Hello friends, welcome to another exciting episode in our Photoshop design series. In this video I'll be showing you how I created this flyer in Photoshop. Of course, with easy steps like we've always done in previous videos. Before then, if you've not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification so you won't miss any video I'll be dropping anytime from now. Without having to waste much time on talks, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is you want to go over to file and click on new, and inside here I'll just give this a name, just basics, TGIF flyer, and resolution stays at 300 5x5 RGB, and every other thing stays the same. When you're done with that, just click on create like this and you're good to go. Okay, now this is the Photoshop interface like you've always known, right? So the first thing I want to do is go to adjustment layer and click on solid color. We need to work on the background first, right? Great. So I'm just going to use white, plain white to start with, right? This is subject to change later. Right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my resource file. Again, the link is in the description of this video, so do well to use the link to download these files. So I'm just going to drag this image, right? So because it's always good when you want to design, you pick your colors from your subject, right? So I'm just going to show a practical example of how I go ahead to do these things, right? So what I will basically do is, this is the image I'll be using for this particular design, right? So now I'm going to select a color from her like this and use for my background. So how do I do that? Now, since I have this image, but first and foremost I would like to adjust this image and make it sharper and punchy and all of that. So just follow and use my settings, right? So my texture 100, and I'm going to bump up the clarity just like this, and also let me see, close this up, go over to the details section. I'm going to sharpen it. As you can see, you're seeing the changes, right? And when I'm done, click OK. So this is before and this is after, right? You can see the changes, the skin and everything is looking before and then after, right? So you can go extra and add some other things that you feel like, right? But for me, I think I'm going to go this route. Probably add some extra things to it. I converted it to a smart object. I'm still going back there again. Let me see if I can yes, okay, camera raw is open. Close details, I'm not working on details. Under basics, okay, so what to do, okay, I'm just going to reduce the highlights and increase the shadows. Let's see, depends on what works for you, right? Let me see. Most times it's good to just play with these presets and see what you get out of it. I'm definitely increasing the texture to 100, and clarity can be at 2, and go back to details to increase the sharpening like this. Yes, and before and after, you can see how it is now, all the old details. So this is how I go ahead to sharpen my images in Photoshop before I get into the main composition, right? Okay, great. So let's move ahead then. So I have my nice image looking all punchy and with a smiling face, everything. So what I would like to do is okay, I'm going to I'll probably be working on the background, so I'll double click on this, yes, and double click on it, and I'm just going to use the eyedropper from this part here and select this color like this. Move down a bit, let's be a little bit darker, and good. So you can copy, yes, this is what I want to use. So you can copy the color code. This is the color code here. Just copy and paste it to be on the same page. Okay, you can see how I sampled like a color from this particular image, right? You can see how it blends the image and the background. There's contrast. So select the image itself. I want to get rid of these hard parts, like this hard edges. So what I would do is basically using my brush, B for brush, and gently I'm going to rub off these edges like this. My flow is set to 100. Don't worry about that. You can leave yours too at 100. It's fine, it's perfect. Great. I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just going to move this in place, make sure it's in the middle. I want to increase it just a notch. That's fine, it's good. You can always bring it down later on. Don't worry, we're working on our layers, and like this you'll understand how to manage your layers very well, right? So let me see. Okay, still on track. So next thing I'm going to do is convert this to a smart object, right? So I don't have too many things going on the image itself. So convert to smart objects. You can see I can now hide this. So I'm going over to my text tool, right? I'm going to use the horizontal type tool, and let me correct this. So I'm just going to reduce this back to 75. Good. And I'm going to type out basically what I am going to write here. So it's just Friday. Okay, so I'm going to change the font that I use here, and to something I like. So this is a kilogram font which I'm going to be using. So Ctrl T to adjust it, and make sure you're holding down the Alt key to increase on all sides. And of course the spaces in between the Friday is just so little, so I want more space, not large space, but then the spaces should be a little bit significant. Right, so I'm just going to increase this like this, and okay, I think I'm okay like this. Click enter. So I'm going to drag this below the image, make sure it's underneath the image, just like this, right? So with the Friday selected, I'm on the layers of the Friday. You can see that's where I am. So I'm just going to click to change the color. I'm going to be selecting a color from her. You can see how important this is, right? So I'm going to be using this color. You can copy the color code. This is the color code, and click OK. Okay, so with this done now, I would want several copies of this Friday. So I'm just going to press Ctrl J, and I'm going to start my interesting journey of making multiple copies. Do that again, Ctrl J, and bring this down. Great. Okay, so this is the last one. Okay, now you need to pay attention to this. So select this first Friday and select the last one, holding down shift, right? So right click, and what you want to do is convert to shape, right? So when you do that, it has converted everything to shape. So when you do that, what you want to do next is right click again, and okay, let me select again, right click again, and nope, not clipping mask. Click on merge shapes, right? Everything selected like this. Right click and scroll down and select merge shapes. So what this just did is it merged all the whole Friday and everything into one. So you can double click on any color and change its color here like this. So everything is now acting as one unit. Is that clear? Great. Okay, so what you want to do is, as this is done, make a duplicate copy of this. Ctrl J, make another layer and bring this one under here. I have plans for this, or we have plans for this. So what you want to do with this one is make it bigger, just like this, and go over to opacity and reduce the opacity like this, and click on layer, go to fill and reduce the fill like this. Voila, you can see that nice subtle effect that Friday is creating at the background, right? Okay, so that's out of the way. We still have many things to do, so I'm just going to increase the size of the model herself, position her here like this. Okay, so what I want to do is, with the background, I want to make it darker slightly and press OK like this. I might change this later on, right? So this is the color code, so you can copy and use this one. Just follow my lead, right? Okay, so I'm looking at this now. There are so many things that I want to change, and so many things that I want to put in place for the next step. And the first thing that would be okay, let me bring the resource file inside first, and drag and drop like this, drag and drop Republic, and bring this downwards. But it's in the wrong place, so I'm just going to drag this all the way upwards like this, right? Okay, so this is a picture of a mosque, right? A great mosque at that. So all these images were gotten from FreePic. So if you want high quality premium images, you can get that from FreePic also. Very, very important. If you're a designer, you don't use FreePic, you're missing a lot. So I maxed that out, and I'm going to use my brush to conceal these edges here like this, right? So I'm using my brush to conceal the edges, so this can stay well, just like this. Okay, what I'm going to do is create a new layer like I've done, and I'm going to select this color, my eyedropper tool. What I'm going to do is, with my brush, flow set to 100, soft round brush, I'm just going to yes, make sure your flow set to 100. I'm just going to gently, that's the word, and I'm just going to paint in this brush here. And what else do I need to do? Okay, so select this one. I need to make it more I need to add some clarity and some sharpness to it. So the mux alone. So I'm basically going to do is add some sharpening to it, and increase the texture here. I even put it at 100. You can see how clear and how sharp the image is now. Right, exactly, yes. So vibrance and saturation is okay, good. So we're done with that part. So I'm going to turn this on back again like this. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, select these two, and using my arrow key on my keyboard, I'm moving this upward just like this. Okay, good. So we're doing great so far. So if you have arrived at this point, congratulations to you. You are really doing well. Okay, so select these 4 items, and again using my arrow key on the keyboard. Before I do that, I'm going to bring this one down. There's a slight mistake somewhere. Great. Or you can use the Ctrl T and to adjust this way. Okay. When you're done, click enter. Okay, so moving on. Next thing I want to do is select this text, this one. Right, so what you want to do is convert it to smart object, and the next thing you want to do is go to filter and go to noise, click on add noise, and now this is that effect you saw. It's more like a sugary kind of effect on it, but it's always nice. But before I do that, I noticed something. So Ctrl Z, double click on this color, and move it to this side of life. Right, so that's the color code. You can copy this instead and click OK. So I'm now going to do right click and convert to smart objects. Now next, go to filter and go to noise, go to add noise, and this should make a difference. Voila, great, this is what I want. So you can reduce the amount, right, to make sure it's set to Gaussian, not uniform, and the monochromatic is selected. You can see you can go all the way up, or you can remain the way it was before, but I think I'm liking all the way up like this. So when I don't click OK, look at this nice looking effect, right? I'm sure some of you have seen this on flyers and you're wondering how was this created. So that's how you do it. So it's very, very important that every video I drop, there is always something new to gain from it. So make sure your notifications are turned on and you're following me through. Great. So I'm going to bring in this element, next one that looks like a paper foil kind of. So what I'm going to do, if you observe, is directly on top of that text, right? So what I want to do is I might have to readjust this. So I'll go to the edge like this, but I'm going to be increasing first. So go to the edge and increase this way. Okay, and go to the edge again. I'm going to turn this, rotate it till I get to this position like this. I move it upward slightly, and voila, there you go. I think this is better. Click enter, just like this, and we're good to go. Okay, so selecting this, I'm just going to change the blend mode to screen. Easy peasy. Yeah, good. just like that. You can see how nice this is. Nice effect, right? So go over to the topmost layer, create a new layer. So you're using the horizontal type. So I'm just going to type out something, and it's going to be, thank God it's Friday. It's Friday today, guys. Friday. It's Friday in here. So I'm just going to use solid white like this and click OK. So thank God it's Friday. I'm going to change the font using, okay, let me use a bold font. Good. And I'm going to change this to 600. Let's see. Okay, good. So this is 600. So I'm just going over to add some other text and speed this up a bit. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is create a new layer, or better still, no, not yet. Yeah, okay, for this I'll have to create a new layer. Go over to your brush, make sure you are using, turn this off, the general brush and soft round brush, right? And I'm just going to use this and touch some areas that will need light in this composition. Create another new layer, sample this here, and change the blend mode to screen here. This second one also change it to screen. On the second layer, which is this one, so you can even make the brush smaller by changing it that way. Put the light here and put a little bit here. Put this one here, change the blend mode to screen, and I'm going to reduce opacity like this. Okay, so most times when you feel it's too much, you can just go over and reduce the opacity, just the way I am doing to mine right now. Okay, so now that you have the lighting out of the way, I'm going to make a snapshot of audio layers. Ctrl Shift Alt and E does that for you. Make a snapshot, convert to smart object, and this is where the final touch is going to be done inside of Camera Raw. So while it loads up, so I've opened Camera Raw and it's trying to load up, so it has come up. So what you want to do is just copy my settings, go over to texture. You can see how much difference that makes. Right, for some reasons I'm not going to tamper with clarity or some other ones very well. Just a little bit is okay. Increase the vibrance and click OK. We're good to go like this. You can see how punchy and how nice this is, guys. If you've gotten to this point and you did the same thing, special congratulations to you. Thank you for staying up on to this time. And if you've not subscribed, you're still thinking about it, now you have to subscribe. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.